Hey everyone, it's Coach Tan Abraham here. I'm here to talk today about some of the crazy shit that's going on in our work environments today. And let's be for real, it is tough. And if you can build the so what attitude and mental mindset that I've been talking a lot about in my podcast, I really think it's going to help out. So, what crazy shit am I talking about? Well, I'm sure everybody has their own stories about what's going on at work today, whether it's working for some of these organizations that were like, hey, we want you to be remote. Now you got to come into the office. Hey, now we have all these new rules and policies that you need to figure out and follow. Or, I don't know, we're going to fire you. Like, there is some crazy shit that's going on. And every time that I talk to somebody, I'm hearing more and more about the situations, and they just keep getting weirder and weirder. I'm going to be honest. And not only is it that these organizations, because of the political climate, think they can do anything they want to anybody, there's also things that are happening within work teams that are crazy, right? Because when people are afraid that they may be losing their jobs, and I used to talk about this a lot when I managed one of my teams, one of my large teams, is I would say we're the type of team that if someone's falling down a hole, we don't just go, oh, so sorry, see you later. No, we put our hands down and we try to grab it, and somebody else on the team better grab that person, and so forth, right? Because nobody goes down, because that's not how a team acts. But when you are afraid, when you are thinking maybe you're doing something wrong, or you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you're afraid someone's going to find out, well, you do some crazy stuff, right? And instead of putting your hand down to help somebody out, you act like you don't even have a hand, or you kick them down with your foot because when no one's looking. So it's like crazy stuff like that happens, and it is intensified right now. People being fired and letting go same day, and we know I was a victim of it too. But I really believe that if you can take the so what attitude and be like, yeah, so what? It happened. What is next? And you are what is next. You are going to get it figured out. You are going to believe in yourself more than ever and figure out what is next. So let's go through a couple of fun little stories that I have been hearing and kind of just blow me away. But at the same time, it's like, I know it's happening, and I know it's probably happening on your work team or your work environment potentially as well. So let's talk about some of the advice that I've given some of these folks in the coaching. Recently, I had someone who came to me and was like, hey, oh my God, this person just threw me under the bus with this top director and didn't even talk to my direct manager and went above and whatnot to talk to them and to make me look bad and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there and I'll say to him, I'm not surprised, right? Because when people want to be seen, when people are fearful of their job, they do crazy things, and they probably want that director to know their name. Not really the smart way for a director to know your name, if you want to be honest. I've worked with many directors, and they don't want the people, the stool pigeons or whatnot, coming to them and telling them what's going on. They want to recognize you because of the job that you're doing. And so that is what I told this individual. It's like, don't worry about that damn person. So what they did? Go ahead. Let it go. You are the rock star that have the follow-up. You knew that, what they were claiming that you did, you didn't do. So then you get the opportunity to shine light like a diamond, right? And, you get to shine bright like a diamond and be like, yeah, no, oh, here's the email trail of all the times I reached out to them, asked them these questions and whatnot. And you get to shine bright. So, let it go. So what? Who cares? Yeah, they're an idiot. There's a ton of idiots out there. I'm sorry. There's just because you might work for one of these big organizations or even, nonprofit organization where you think that folks are there for good. It's not right. They're not all there for good. Some of them are just there for paychecks or because it was the only job that hired them, right? So you got to keep that in mind. So whether you're in higher education, in a hospital system, doing right, there are good and bad people everywhere. And you just need to focus on you and you being the good people, right? Because Believe me, like with what's going on in this world right now, being bad and doing cruddy things, everyone's getting away with it, and it's gross. But just because you can get away with it doesn't mean you go and do it. It's like the lessons we were taught as kids. The lessons I'm trying to teach my kid every day is like, yeah, you can be a jerk, but why be a jerk? Be nice, right? So, another situation. Had a friend over last night for dinner, and we're chit-chatting, and he tells me about, oh yeah, and I already knew because we had talked, but he brought it up, and there were other people there, and he said, yeah, I got laid off. Not laid off, excuse me. He got fired. Just fired. Next day. Bye. Whatever. And like, no warning, no nothing, and he was gone. And this person was like, yeah, that's so wrong, and that's so this, and blah, 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 and was just, trying to be supportive like a good friend. But I had coached this individual, and he had worked for me. And so he knew that I knew the real story, right, of what was going on. And he knew that I had told him, man, it is time for you to go find something else, because he was bored to friggin' tears. This kid is brilliant, and he is going to have no problem finding another job. And I knew that. And we talked about it, but I loved his attitude, his so what attitude. And he said to her, yeah, no, I'm good with it, because, then if they gave me a warning, I would have been like walking around like on eggshells, and I'm just happy they did it. It's done. And I got to move on. And I said, yeah, and now you get to move on. You kind of needed a kick in the pants, my friend, right? Because you were too smart to be doing that job, and you knew it. And sometimes when you get fired, it is a kick in the pants, right? And makes you go do something that you should be doing rather than something that you were doing because you thought it was the right thing to do. Right? So I know there is shitty and crappy things going on right now, but don't let it tear you down. Figure out a way to say, so what? Believe in yourself, rise above, right? And don't be like them. I know, it's hard to be good sometimes. You want to trust people, right? But that saying, I know my mom said it to me quite a bit growing up. You lie to me, shame on you. You lie to me again, shame on me, right? It's the same thing. You gotta be protecting yourself. You gotta be thinking about yourself first, right? And we can't just foolishly walk in trusting everybody, especially in this climate right now. So protect yourself. Yeah, save those emails, document things down. I hate that. And people that have worked for me knew, I can't stand that stuff. I can't stand when you have to copy yourself into an email just because you're afraid that somebody's going to misconstrue it or lie or whatnot. But it is what it is right now. So I'm going to get out there and I'm going to tell people, protect yourself and make sure that you are dotting your I's and crossing your T's. But more importantly, make sure that you are giving what you are getting, right? And you should be right now, everybody working on your skills, working on your resumes, working on what you can do next. Don't depend on any organization. Don't depend on anyone but you, right? And then you will always be prepared for whatever comes out of right field, left field, center field. You are going to be ready. And no one will be able to blindside you or whatnot. Yeah, maybe for a second, but if you're like, yeah, so what? You should see my resume. You should see the side hustle that I've been doing, right? That is what you need to be doing. You need to be taking care of yourself, right? And believing in yourself and saying, so what to everybody else that doesn't. Well, okay, I'm going to calm down a little bit. I'm going to say also that right now I need those Red Sox. 2 more games I got to win, and they better be believing in themselves too and saying, so what to all the noise out there that, yeah, they're going to come in through the wild card, hopefully, but so what? That doesn't mean you can't go win the World Series. So what, Red Sox? Go get it done. And everybody else there, same thing to you. So what to everyone else and all the crappy things that are going on? Go have a good day. Go take care of you. Go take care of your family, your friends. And your day is going to be a better one. All right, everybody, over and out.